And we're back. Oh, and now my phone is being weird. Alright. I have changed the settings. For anybody who was not part of part 1 and not seeing this, I'm trying to improve the quality of the stream output so that it is not so blocky and blurry. So what I've done is I've now changed this in my Twitch stream settings so that base canvas is still 1080, so that's what I'm streaming at, but it has a reduced scale down to 720, and I'm using a downscaling filter to hopefully improve the way that it looks, so that when I'm walking around and doing a lot of really high velocity, fast-paced movement, that maybe it doesn't look so blocky and blurry and just really bad. Oh god, that almost made it worse. What am I doing wrong? I may have to Google this. The other thing, let's see. Come to output, my bitrate. Maybe my bitrate's the problem. I have it set to 2500 because I don't know exactly how high I can go. Maybe that's my problem. Canner roll frames 2. Yeah, maybe I should set that to auto. Custom buffer size. Like, this is the other thing that really, like, affects Twitch VOD. Really? Again, these are settings I can't touch while I'm streaming. This is so annoying. I just want to play my game, and I want people to enjoy it, and I want it to look nice. But I don't know how to how to set this up. This is all stuff that has changed over the years that I need to basically relearn how to do everything. It's a real disappointment, like, that everything keeps changing so fast. I've been doing this for years. You'd think I'd know how to keep up with the times, but the problem is I'm such a small streamer that I'm just like, why bother keeping up if nobody's gonna watch? But maybe that's part of the problem, is my mentality. Maybe I need to actually learn this stuff to improve, and then I'll actually get some viewers. I mean, that's possible. Alright, well, I don't know what to do at this point. So, I think I'm just gonna play, because I don't know. I genuinely have no idea what it is I need to do, and this is all stuff I need to figure out when I'm not streaming. And I'm not stopping the stream. Or at least I'm not gonna stop streaming for today and just completely give up on it just so that I can worry about it. But I will put more time and effort into figuring out how to improve the stream quality so that it's not quite so blocky. And in the meantime, the YouTube VODs, I am recording as I'm streaming, and I will probably upload that rather than just do a Twitch export. That way, hopefully, at least the YouTube VODs will be of a higher quality. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get into today's endeavors and what we are going to be doing. First, let's catch you up on what I've been doing since the last stream, because I have been doing some farming. Not just of certain items and stuff, but I've been farming credits, I've been farming endo, I've been farming resources on the open worlds. So let's take a look. So first of all, I have, hey, it's done, successfully farmed all of the pieces of our next Warframe, Rhino. and now they are fully built. And we are going to go ahead and click this, and oh, look at that! It says 24 hours. That is significant because that used to say 72 hours. I really like that change. I wish it was less. I wish it was even less. I wish it was only like 1 or 2 hours so that we could maybe play with him today. But having it be 24 is fantastic. So, that means the next stream we will have a new Warframe to play with. So yes, I farmed all the pieces of Rhino. Now, I wanted to point out something specific about Rhino, because you gotta farm the parts from him from the boss on Venus. Fossa, the Jackal. We fought the Jackal in the last episode of this, in part 3. And then I went on afterwards to farm the rest of his parts. Now, getting him built is a little bit tricky because his neuroptics and his chassis, and there's always 3 parts that come to a Warframe: your systems, neuroptics, and your chassis. You'll always have those 3 parts to build for a Warframe. And then I bought his blueprint from the market. I think it was 25,000 credits. And his is not the only one I've bought. Like I said, I've been farming credits and I've been buying blueprints. So I have blueprints for quite a few Warframes now that I've been buying from the market for credits. The next one I'm set to buy is Necros, and his is the most expensive at 100,000 credits. So yeah. But in addition to that, I've been leveling mods and stuff. But okay. Anyways, back to Rhino. But you can see every last one of these: neuroptics, chassis, systems, and each of those parts has to be built, and each of them requires resources. Well, Rhino, his neuroptics and his chassis, you can get all of the resources just from running any old mission on Mercury and Venus, and you'll get everything you need. His systems, on the other hand, requires one unique resource called plastids, which normally, if you are just running any age-old mission, the very first time that you actually see plastids on the star chart is Ceres, I think. No, not Ceres? Okay, then it's Phobos. There we go, plastids. So, obviously, we're not at Phobos yet. Well, in fact, we're not even close, because we've only done Earth and Venus. So how did I get the plastids? Well, it turns out that the Tier 1 bounty, the very first bounty on Cetus that you can run for Kanzu, if you wait long enough in the rotation, it has the chance of dropping a 200 plastids bundle. So I farmed the ever-living crap out of that mission, because you need 600 plastids to build Rhino systems. That is not my foundry. Still looking for it. So yeah, you need 200 plastids to build Rhino systems. Or 600, sorry. So yeah, and the Tier 1 bounty on Earth gives you the chance of a 200 plastids bundle. So I farmed the crap out of that. And not only did I get that, I got a lot of other stuff too. So I was able to get standing, which allowed me to buy blueprints to build high quality minerals from both the planes, as well as I think Venerdu alloy and Heart Noctral. Those come from Venus open world, so Fortuna. So I've managed to get a lot of mineral blueprints, as well as I've been using the standing that I've been farming to buy the modular parts for the different robots and kit guns and Zaw melees. I'm basically just going through their list, and for every tier that I unrank or rank up, I'm buying everything available in that rank, so that when I go back to those vendors at the next tier, I can click the little hide owned button at the bottom, and it'll take off of my inventory screen anything that I already own, and I can focus on what I don't. And I'm going to be doing that until I've bought literally everything from every vendor, all the way up to rank 5. So yeah, as far as those open world standings go, if we pop into here to my profile and we go over to syndicates and then scroll down, you can see I have 15,000 with Samaris. Still working on getting the 50,000 with him for the infinite scanner. That's something we're going to do today. But you can see Ostron, I have pretty much nothing left in my daily standing cap. Actually, wait. Oh, that's the quills. No, we don't have access to the quills yet. The Ostron, I have 0 standing, and I've been using it all. And then you come down here to Solaris United. Same thing here. I am now rank 1 with them, and I've maxed out my daily cap for the day, and I've spent it all just getting stuff from them. I've also maxed out my Vent Kids, and I need to go rank that up. Because Vent Kids is really, really easy and fast to get all the way to rank 5. Because it doesn't really cost you anything. Your only barrier to getting to rank 5 is that daily standing cap, which sucks. There actually used to be a bug in the game where the Vent Kids specifically, the little guys that like to play with K-drives, which are annoying, but there used to be a bug in the game where you could bypass your daily standing cap with just the Vent Kids, and you could just max out the entire rank all at once in one day, and it was fantastic. But they patched it out really, really fast, and I'm disappointed because I liked the idea of having at least one faction, even if it was even if it was just one that nobody cared about. But it was a nice idea that I could just go grind rep for them for like an entire day and just max them out and then buy everything in their shop and just keep going until I had nothing left to do, and I could just get rid of it entirely. I could buy all of their stuff, I could get all their K-drives, I could just get all the mods that they have for K-drives, because yes, you can mod your K-drives, which is just dumb, but whatever. But yeah, like, I liked the idea that I could just go in and just do it all at once. No breaks, no nothing, just get it all done and over with, and then I can move on to the other factions. But they patched it out super, super fast. Alright, so, the next thing I want to talk about, we got Rhino, he's building, that's really awesome. I managed to get one of the 2 weapon blueprints that also dropped from Fossa. Over in the melee tab, we have the blueprint for the Stropha. This thing is a beast of a weapon. The problem is that the other parts here for the Stropha we cannot gain until after we do the Deadlock Protocol, and then we're gonna want to go in there with a Warframe that has a really, really good build on it. So we're not going to have the Stropha for a very long time, but we do have the blueprint, and I still have one more blueprint that I have to farm from that mission. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to save that for my off time. So the other thing I've been doing is we've been leveling weapons a lot. I managed to get the Jaw Sword built and fully leveled. I've finished with the Furax. We have pretty much every available melee weapon that I can just go ahead and just grab and grind XP for is done, except the Jaw Sword, but that one is really, really close. We're working on the Mark 1 Kune. I don't know why I just went into the mod thing. This is taking me up forever. This melee weapon is taking me forever because it's just so bad that I don't want to do it. But also, I claimed our Furus, which we built in the last episode, part 3, back in the last broadcast. We built the Furus because it was an MR2 weapon, so we ranked up to MR2, and then I went ahead and built the Furus, and we're going to do the same today with the Heat Sword. I'm going to do our MR3 test, and we're going to immediately build the Furus. Or not the Furus, the Heat Sword, and that'll give us another melee weapon. But in addition to those, we've still got, the Mark 1 Furus down here that I'm going to be buying, and again, it's really cheap, really easy mastery fodder, so absolutely get that weapon and do it. And then if you need extra weapon slots, these Mark 1 weapons are the first ones you're going to sell, because chances are, after you've gotten the mastery for them, you're never going to use them again. Ever. Period. Done. So yeah, and then we're making some headway with weapons up here. I finally finished the Burston. I've been working on the Boltor again, just for mastery rank. Once that one's done, we're probably going to do the Mark 1 Breton and the Mark 1 Paris and the Mark 1 Strun. And then from there, we'll get the other ones. And why did that just happen? Stop it. I hate when that happens. It happens all the time. I'll just randomly push a button on my keyboard, and my list of things will just disappear, and I hate it. But that's a me problem. So yeah, we're working on mastery rank. We're trying to get all of the really quick and easy weapons that you can just get leveled and just out of the way. So I've been working on that. I've also been working on upgrading mods. So I think we got Equilibrium up to rank 3 in the last broadcast, but since then I've put a couple levels into Intensify, Continuity. I've added Streamline to his build. So if anybody was wondering, like, how do you build Warframes, how do you mod Warframes at the start of the game, this is it. Literally, you just kind of throw in what you have that might give you an advantage. Like, Continuity increases the duration of time on your speed. It increases the amount of time you have your shield up. It increases the amount of time that your 4 is running around electrifying people. Like, Streamline is reducing the cost. Flow is giving you just some more energy. And these are all mods that I got just for doing, like, the Junction and some Cetus bounties and whatnot. So they're really, really nice. I maxed out Stretch so that we have maximum range on my Zap, because I've been using his shock a lot, so I wanted that. I also, unfortunately, in farming that stupid bounty and trying to get those plastids, it was a bit of a headache because I kept running into thumpers and other things, and I managed to get this to drop from a thumper, so that's really good. And it's not the only one. I think I also have one for melee. Yes, I do. I know I do. So there it is. Gladiator Rush, which is probably one of the best early game extra melee mods that you can get your hands on, just because of that little thing under the bar. So the top one, the fun thing with these mods, these are called set mods. Again, they've all got the same starting name, Gladiator. So they're all part of the Gladiator set. The unique thing about this is each one has its own unique thing that it does, its own unique bonus. Like this one says +1 second to combo duration. That's not really important. What's more important is what's below that line, which says 10% melee critical chance per combo multiplier. And the unique thing about these mods, because they all have the name Gladiator, and there are 6 of them. Then that's what this bar is all about. So every time you put this in your build, you'll see that bar fill up. And so once you have all 6 Gladiator mods installed, that bottom bonus increases with every one of them you add to your build. So if we come over here, I'll take Flow out momentarily, and we'll take Gladiator Finesse. We put that up there. Now that says 20%. If we take Streamlight out and put Aegis in there, now it says 30%. And there are 6 of these mods in total, and you can use all 6 on your build if you want. Now, most people don't. Most people will use, I believe the Gladiator set has 3 that are strictly melee mods, and then it has these 2 that are I don't remember, honestly. Again, we don't use them. That's why I don't remember, is because we don't really use all of the Gladiator mods. But yeah, it'll give you a bonus 60% critical damage on your melee weapons, which is just absolutely fantastic. And it scales with combo. So if you don't know what combo is every time I hit, you'll see a little number in the bottom right when I'm attacking enemies with a melee weapon. You'll see a number pop up over here in the bottom right corner. That the more times I hit, it'll start to have it's got a 2-part number to it. It's got a little number and then a big number, and that pops up, and it'll start by saying like 1x. That's your combo multiplier. The number of times you hit an enemy, it gives you an increased combo multiplier, and that combo multiplier affects your critical stats. on your weapon. And it also affects your heavy attack damage, because when you have your combo up and you hit a heavy attack, whatever your combo multiplier says it is it takes your heavy attack damage and multiplies it by that combo number. And the combo multiplier naturally with most weapons goes up to 12 times, and it requires 220 consecutive hits on enemies to get to 12x. And then there are mods like Gladiator Rush that says 10% per combo multiplier. So at 12x, that's giving you, I believe, 120%. Because you just take the 12x and multiply it by the 10, and you get 120. I think that's how that works. I could be wrong. I don't do the mathing very well. I look at number and go, oh, number plus number equals bigger number. That's how my brain works. It's very basic. What can I say? I'm a simpleton. I let other people do all the big mathing so I don't have to. But yeah, that's the basics of how melee works. And so having that there, giving you that bonus critical chance per combo multiplier, is really, really nice. Now the problem with that is when it says, if my math is right on that, and that 12x gives you 120% on just this 10%, what it does is it takes that 120% and applies it to 8%, to this 8%. So if, say we were at combo 10. Let's simplify this. We were at combo 10. 10% per combo multiplier. We're at combo 10. That gives us 100% critical chance. What that does not mean is that now you're sitting at 108% critical chance. That is not what that means. What that means is it is taking your critical chance and basically multiplying it by, I think, 2. At 100%, it's multiplying it by 2. So with 100% additional critical chance, this would be 16%, not 108. And that's how most mods in the game work. There are some that are additive. There's an arcane that I'm farming right now called Arcane Hotshot. For anybody who doesn't know what an arcane is, why do I not have arcane slots? What? They should be there. Regardless. They should be... What? That's weird. Well, when you... do you have to unlock this thing? Is it because I don't own any yet? That's the only thing that makes sense. Okay. Well, then we'll go to the codex and show you. Universe, relics, and arcanes. These things. These are arcanes. These are extra equipment that you can farm to put on your Warframe and all of your weapons. There are now arcanes for your primary weapons, your secondary weapons, your melee weapons. All of them have their own unique arcanes now. And you farm these. They're added equipment, and they do extra things when you do things in games. Like this one says at rank 5, attacks from summoned minions. So like shadow clones, if you drop a specter in the game, those are considered summoned minions. And they increase. This arcane says it increases their strength by 6% up to 60% on the next ability cast, and summons gain 20% movement speed. So basically, when you throw out a minion, the next time you cast an ability with your Warframe, that minion gains 6% ability strength and 20% movement speed. And then every time you cast that ability again, they gain another 6%, up to a total of a bonus 60%. I believe that's how that reads. I don't know. I don't use this one because I don't use summon minions a lot. Let's look at one that's a lot easier to understand, like Arcane Fury. So this one's really simple. On critical hit, and that's with any weapon, but most commonly if you're using this, you're going to be using melee weapons. So when your melee weapon hits an enemy and it does a critical hit, there's a 60% chance for that weapon, again, we'll use the rank 5 stat, to gain a bonus 180% melee damage for 18 seconds. So that's what arcanes do. That should be really easy to understand. Because yeah, so you hit an enemy, it does a critical hit, and when you do that critical hit, it gives you a chance to gain bonus melee damage on your next hit. That's what arcanes do. And the one, going back to the topic about changing your stats and whatnot, the one that I am farming right now on my other account... Hello? Where are you? Oh, you're sorted by progress. No, sort by name, please. That's why I'm having a problem. H, E, F, G, H. It's this one. So this one, at rank 5, gains 6% weapon critical chance for all of my weapons when using an ability that inflicts heat damage. So when I cast an ability with my Warframe that applies heat status effects to an enemy, it gives me a bonus 6% weapon critical chance on my weapons, and it stacks up to 50 times for a total of 300% critical chance. What's different about this is in addition to whatever critical chance is already on my weapon. So this one, going back to the example of my my melee weapon with the 8% on it, I think it was my melee weapon. So that particular arcane, yeah, it was here. That, at maximum stacks, would give me 308% critical chance on my weapon, instead of doing what Gladiator Rush does, and it would just instead give me like maybe 20% at most. With just Gladiator Rush, it would give me, at maximum combo, it would only give me like 20% crit chance. Arcane Hotshot would actually build up that 300%, and then that 300% would just be put on top of whatever I already have here, giving me the 308 instead, which is insane. But it's going to be a very long time before we actually ever get to arcanes and things of that nature. So we're not going to worry too much about it right now, but it is fun to think about. So yeah, the damage in this game, like, it starts out pretty low and kind of hard to build up, but you also, at this stage where we are at the game, in the game right now, with the level like 1 to level 10 enemies that we're fighting, you don't need that level of damage. What we're doing right now is sufficient enough. And hell, I actually managed, I think it was yesterday I was doing it, I managed to do the tier 2 bounty on the plains with what little I have right now, and I was able to get 2 different parts. Yeah, it was this one, Gara Systems, from the tier 2 bounty. It was a bit challenging, but I was fighting level 22 enemies in there. And yeah, again, it was a bit challenging because we don't have a lot of ranks right now in our mods. The weapon we're using doesn't really have the greatest of damage stats. I'm still working on building all this up. We don't have a potato in here for more mods. So like this is a very basic build, and it's doing decent damage for the level of enemies that we're fighting, but it could use some like scaling up and whatnot for those higher level enemies, and we'll get there. We will, but right now it's not a priority to really super duper increase our damage, because we're not fighting enemies high enough in level to actually need it just yet. Now, I will get there, and relatively soon. In fact, Volt here is just at a point where I'm considering putting in a potato to increase his mod capacity. He does not have a potato yet. All of the mods I have installed on him, all of the ranks I have in all of those mods, he is basic as it gets. Like 44 points. Like I don't even have a potato installed in him. Hell, I don't have a potato. I might need to fix that. And I fixed that with Nightwave. But yeah, I'm at the point now with him where I'm considering it, but at the same time, I'd rather not waste something like that on a Warframe that, honestly, once I switch to, like, Rhino, I'm probably never going to come back to basic Volt. The next time I play Volt, it will be Volt Prime. So, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do there. So yeah, something to consider. Alright, now let's get into actual, like, missions and other things. The first thing I think I want to do right now, as far as the next bit I want to explain, is in the last broadcast we founded a clan and started building our clan key. So I want to talk a little bit about the clan dojo and whatnot, and to do that, we need to now actually claim our clan key because it is done being built. So let's go ahead and do that. And all that does is it sits in our inventory and like a sword, like a couch potato. It doesn't do anything. You don't interact with the clan key at all. It just sits there. But now we have access to our clan, and there's a couple of different ways that we can actually get to our clan dojo. The first and easiest is to just go to your start menu here, click on communication, click on clan, and then click the button that says enter dojo. But the other way to do it, if you want to try and be like more immersive and feel like you're actually living in the world, is you just open your navigation, right click your mouse if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, or hit the back button on your controller, and in the bottom left corner over here of the map is your dojo. And you can not only go look at your own dojo, you can go visit other people's dojos as well and just kind of see what they look like and get a feel for it. And if you don't have your own clan yet and don't want to create your own, you can also go into these and get a feel for things and, I don't know, potentially consider joining one of them if they'll have you. Me, I don't want to go through the headache of, oh, well, you have to be a certain master rank, or you have to play X number of hours a week, or you have to provide X amount of resources to the clan. No, I don't do any of that crap. My clan does not do any of that crap. My clan is, do you want to have fun? Do you like Warframe? Welcome to the clan. That's it. So, but having said that, let's go in and visit our own. And it's going to be very basic right now. But we can get in and talk about building the clan and why it's important to have a dojo. I keep saying clan. Yeah. Let's go into our dojo. And this is it. Right now, as we sit in here, this is our dojo. This one room. Nice, ain't it? Ain't nothing to it. But this can be expanded. And it expands a lot. And there are a lot of different things you can build. And you absolutely want to. Apologies, clearing my throat. So every room in your dojo, let's see, should have, here it is, one of these little terminals. You can activate this. This will give you the ability, you can set a message to greet people. You can name this room if you want. You have the option to decorate it. This room specifically, it says destroy here. You can't do that. This one room right here cannot be destroyed ever. The only way to destroy this is to disband your clan. So don't worry about that. If I click this, you cannot destroy the soul room in your dojo. Yeah. But this gives you access to your decorations menu. And this is how you kind of fly around. You can also do this from your start menu. If you, let me leave here. If you open your start menu again, it's an option here, decorations, polychrome. This little thing, if we set this in here, let's go ahead and I want to set it in this corner, and we're just going to right click and rotate it like this, and we're just going to kind of set it right there. There we go. That's probably the only thing that you can put in your dojo that doesn't require you to build resources for first. However, the things, personal decorations, place, edit, remove decorations. Okay, that just took me into that menu. I'm exploring because I've never actually decorate. Okay, both of those take me into the same menu for some reason. That's weird. Anyways, yeah, so this is, you can change the color of the room. Preview colors, fund construction. You may not contribute to polychrome until colors have been set. Once polychrome is finished building, the colors chosen will be applied and polychrome will disappear. Okay, so you have to change the room colors first. You can change the colors of the walls, and you can change the lighting in the room. But the colors themselves have to be researched. Kind of sucks, because there's a lot of them. I don't even have all of these researched in my own clan. I don't. Yeah, random all doesn't even work because, well, I don't have any research. And the lighting colors are the same. They draw from the exact same color palettes to change the lighting in the room. Now you can click on them and see kind of a change. That was weird. Yeah, because I hovered over that one and it seemed dim or something. Oh, is that why? It's because I'm sitting there idling and doing that thing. Okay, whatever. So yeah, you can, this thing itself you don't have to worry about, but the colors that you have to research, and I'll show you when we finally get to that point what those look like. So, but otherwise, the other options that you have, let's go back into the decorate menu. If you press, in my thing it's press 1, it will give you a very large list of things that you can build to decorate. And you can itemize them based on what type they are. So here we have our Grenier stuff, and you can just kind of select this and it'll give you a preview of what it looks like. And then once you've decided on the thing that you want, click place decoration, and now you are in the room, and oh my god, this thing is enormous. I cannot see around it. Okay, let's go ahead and cancel that build and pick something that maybe we can actually see around. How about this? There we go. That's just like a propaganda tower. So now you can kind of just fly around, and you can pick a spot where you want to place it, rotate it. If it's facing the wrong direction, I have the ability to scale it up and down. So if it's really big, you can make it smaller. If it's really small, you can make it bigger. I believe I also have the ability to, with some of these, yep, you can place it on the wall. I think I can even stick it up on the ceiling. There we go. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Hands are busy. Couldn't turn off the mic. So yeah, and then once it's placed, you can, if you don't like where it is, I can go ahead and I can select it again, and we can move it somewhere else and set it down. We can right click to remove it entirely. You can use, in my case, you can use F to make a second one and then place that down somewhere as well. Let's go ahead and cancel that. But then once it's done, once you've made all of those decisions on size and place and location and rotation, then you've placed it, then you hit the button that says contribute to decoration, and it will open up a list of all the different resources that you need in order to actually build this. And once you have fully funded its construction, it will take 24 hours to build. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cancel build because I don't actually want that in this room. I don't know what I want to do with this room decorating wise. Probably nothing. because this is just kind of a tutorial walkthrough. This is not my main account, so I don't plan on really doing anything extravagant with my clan for this account. My main clan, though, I've done quite a bit, and I would encourage anybody watching, if you are into Warframe and want to get into a clan, I'm always looking for new members. Again, there are no prerequisites for joining, just that you want to play Warframe and have fun. And once you're in, anybody who is in the dojo, you're more than welcome to decorate it however you choose. My only stipulation is that you please respect the decorations that other people have put down. You can add to them, just don't delete them. If you don't like someone else's decorating, that's fine, but please respect the fact that somebody else actually put some time and effort into that, and don't destroy it. That's my only stipulation when it comes to decorating my dojo. Otherwise, have fun. Do whatever comes to mind. Alright, so, but, in order to decorate, you actually need a dojo worth decorating. So, the next thing we're going to talk about is actually building new segments in the clan dojo. And that, I think somebody just made my kitty mad, or made her excited. I don't know. My kitty cat is healing quite well. Anybody who's been here since the beginning, I have a cat, and a while back she broke her leg. So we had to go and get it surgically repaired, and she's been in a cast for weeks. But now she's actually up and walking around, and she's feeling a lot better. She's still got the cast on her leg, and she's still making regular vet visits to be checked up on, but her progress is fantastic. Anyways, back to building the clan. So anytime you want to add to the clan and expand, or add to the dojo and expand it, it has to be at a red door. And it's really, really simple. You just come up to it, activate it, and it will give you a list of all the different extra segments of the dojo that you can build. And there are some really important ones, and thankfully they've added these modifiers, these categories here to make this a lot easier. So the ones you're going to want to focus on the most are going to be the labs. Now there are a couple others. Halls are ones that we'll probably want to build all of them eventually. In addition to that, reactors are going to be really, really important. You can't really build a whole lot in the dojo other than corridors, connectors, and such without the available energy. And as you can see there, even those current capacity is it's going to require, what, 5? Energy 2, 5 available, 100. I don't exactly know what that means. But still, basically it requires energy in order to make extra stuff. And the way you gain that energy is by building reactors. And each reactor gives you a bonus 25 energy for building space. And if you don't have enough, the game will tell you. So what we're going to be doing with this particular dojo, on this side of the room, oh, barracks, Kuvasteroid, these are all just like extra open spaces and stuff. No, that's not what I want. So what we're going to be doing with this, to kind of maybe make it a little bit easier to figure stuff out, I want to put an elevator in here. Now there's supposed to be a way to figure out whether the elevator goes up or down. I'm going to put an elevator at each end of the room. I want one to go up and I want one to go down. The one that goes down, there is a way to fix it, a way to tell. I believe the default is up. So let's switch it to something else and then come back. I believe the default is up. But you can see here that when you go to build a room of any kind, it also requires resources. And the worst one of all is that every new segment is going to require a forma. So it's going to take a while to build this out because forma are hard to get right now. They will be much easier to get later, but for right now, they're kind of a rare, super rare resource. So this is going to take a while. But beyond that, so the goal of what I want to do with this, again, I want to build an elevator at either side, one going up, one going down. The one down is going to just become an infinite hallway of nothing but energy reactors. So I'm going to build an elevator down, and then off of that elevator down, we are going to build a T-shaped connector. Or is it... No, it's a cross connector. We're going to end up building a cross connector at the bottom of the elevator. And then we're going to put a special room here, but then we're going to build another cross connector here and another cross connector here. And then at the end of that, we'll have reactor, reactor, cross connector, reactor. And we're just going to build an infinitely spanning hallway of nothing but reactors, so that we have all of our energy that we could ever possibly need all in one place. Now, at the tip of this right here, when we get to the bottom of the elevator, I'm going to build another special room that is required in order to build any of the labs. The labs are really, really important, because the labs are where you do all of your research for all of your extra Warframes, all of your extra weapons. The Dagath's Hollow, that's where you get Dagath. Vent Kids, this is where you get Ureli's parts. And then pretty much every other clan-based Warframe, like Volt, Wukong, Nezha, Banshee, all of them come from the Tenno Lab. So these are very, very important. But in order to build any of these, you can see it says there on the requirements, not only does it have a capacity requirement and an energy requirement, but it says requires Oracle. This is the Oracle. The Oracle has absolutely no purpose whatsoever other than it's required to build the labs. Why that is, I have no idea. I really wish they would do something with the Oracle to make it actually a functional room that you can do something in other than just it's required for the labs, because I really like the layout of this room. I think it's nice. But right now, as it is, once you build the Oracle, there's no reason to ever go back to that room other than you want to look at it because it's kind of shiny. But it's required to have all the labs. So that's why at the tip of this one in our basement area, once I build the elevator down and our first cross connector, at the very tip of this first cross connector, that's where I'm going to put the Oracle. And then we'll build the extra cross connector and a reactor and an extra cross connector and a reactor, and then we'll pull in this way, we'll put another cross connector, and then we'll wrap around, and on the other side of the Oracle I'll put another reactor. So that's all just going to go in basically the basement of the clan, the Oracle as well, because again, once you build it, there's no point in ever seeing it again. And then once on the other side, on the up elevator, we're going to build our halls, and then from our halls, we're going to build our labs. Because the halls, as you see them, they have doors of their own. Especially, yeah, the grandest hall is where we're going to probably do most of them, because it's got 5 doors. The Great Hall has nothing. That's going to be the next room that we build. But then to build the next one up, like the Greater Hall, it requires the Grand Hall. And these two, like, at the top of the up elevator, we're going to put the Great Hall. And then on the other end of the Great Hall, we're going to put another elevator to going up, and it's going to have the Greater Hall, and just, again, back and forth, and we're just going to keep going up. And then from there, I'll probably put the Inspiration Hall, maybe? No. We'll do the Grand Hall next, and then the Inspiration Hall, and then the Grandest Hall at the very top. And then from all of these extra connectors on the various levels, we can put things like the barracks, we can put the labs, we can put, I don't know what category it's in, but we can put the dry dock. There it is, the dry dock, because it is massive. We can put the open space, the obstacle course. We're going to basically put those on each different level as we have room to do so. And that's kind of where I'm going to go with the layout of the dojo. But again, every last one of these requires resources. And so it's going to take a while to build. So we're going to start with our elevator here. I don't know which one this is going to be, whether it's up or down, but let's go ahead and click build. And once you click build, it's now a permanent fixture on the dojo, but you cannot actually go into the room until such time as you have actually put the resources in. So let's go ahead and do what I can. It's going to eat quite a bit of my resources here, but that's all I can do for right now. So we still need nanospores and forma. And we'll go ahead and put those in, and you can see that the progress meter there, it says 60% funded. Once that hits 100%, it'll start building, and then 24 hours after it's started, it'll be finished, and then we can go in and access our elevator. And if you can tell on the map, the mini map, it's now grown, and this is a down elevator, which is perfect. I was going to go ahead, and if this was the up elevator, then I was going to go to the other side and do the flip and do the down elevator, but I think I might just, well, no, we can go ahead and go set the up elevator. So I can do that again over here on the other side. Elevator, but now I think I need to rotate. And if this is wrong, then we can just cancel the build and then set it again. So let's go ahead and do that. And hopefully this is, yep, it's an up elevator. Excellent. That's what I wanted to see. And that is all we can do so for now. Let's hit contribute all. There we go. And this one's only at 47% because I didn't have quite enough salvage. So, need to go spend some time getting more salvage. It's funny, it says Mars, Jupiter, and Sedna, but I'm pretty sure the salvage I have, I got from Venus. Which is weird. But anyways, yeah, and anytime if you don't like what you're building, you change your mind, you think it's ugly, you want to do something different, you can just hit cancel build. And it will refund all of these resources if I cancel build. It'll give all of these back to me. So they're not gone forever. Alright. So that, I think, is kind of just a basic rundown of the clan and the dojo and how it works. And until we get more resources, that's literally all we can do in here. But this will be expanding quite a bit. And we'll be doing a lot of research in here because there's, like I said, there's a lot of weapons, there's a lot of warframes that are locked behind a clan, which is why we're going to be doing it. But I am doing this way rather than just joining someone else's clan so that you can actually see as part of the walkthrough how that all works and how hard it is to actually do it. It's not super hard, it's just very time consuming is the thing. Alright, so that's the dojo. Next on our agenda for today is that little notification right there. We have qualified for our Mastery Rank 3 test, which is going to give me the ability to talk your ear off some more about syndicates. Specifically these ones. And I personally differentiate, like, I know if I go to my profile, and we look at it, all of the different factions in the game are all listed here under syndicates because they're all considered syndicates. But me personally, I only refer to these 6 here as syndicates, and the rest are factions. Because these 6 here are unique. And I've said this before, but I'll continue saying it because we're going to talk about it. These 6 here are unique because you cannot ever get all 6 of them at the same time to rank 5. The most you can do is 4 of them, and that is a little bit tricky. Unlike the rest of these factions down here, all of these you can rank them all to max rank to rank 5, and they will stay there for the rest of your career in Warframe. They will always be rank 5. They will never change. These 6, however, have affiliations with each other that they like. For example, the Arbiters of Hexus don't really like New Loka. So if you rank up your rank in the Arbiters of Hexus, your rank in New Loka is gonna go down. And vice versa. If you then switch and start working on new loca, you're going to lose reputation with Arbiters of Hexes. And that goes for all 6 of these. So you will never at any time in Warframe have all 6 of these at rank 5 at the same time. The most you can get is 4 of them, like I said, and I will explain that more in a moment after we do our mastery rank test. And this one is going to be just like the first 2. It's 3 waves of enemies, kill all the enemies in a set time limit. But like the first 2, like rank 1 test was your primary weapon, rank 2 was our secondary weapon. This one, rank 3, is going to be melee. So let's get in and do it, shall we? And then I'll talk a little bit more about the syndicates and why the syndicates are so important.
Show me that you know of the old ways. Eliminate all targets using your
taste my
weapon.
sword, bitches. I believe the enemies are... Oh, okay, they're Corpus. I thought they were going to be infested. Because our last test had Corpus.
Ready yourself.
But yeah, this is going to be real easy. I've put a lot of work into leveling up my sword and putting some levels into the mods. And yes, this is my modded sword. They don't take that away from you. So, and these specters that we're fighting, level 15. I'm impressed I'm doing the kind of damage that I am, honestly, with them being level 15. But there we go. Easy peasy. We are now Mastery Rank 3.
A formidable performance. This test is
and
now
this
complete.
is probably the most important Mastery
Mission
Rank for you
complete.
to farm
Excellent
really
work,
quickly
Tenno.
in your game. Once you get to Mastery Rank 3, you can kind of ignore Mastery Rank for a little while until you get to like some certain quests. But Mastery Rank 3 is probably one of the most important ones to grind to as fast as you can, which is why I've been focusing so much on leveling as many weapons and whatnot as I can. Yay! Oh, Rocky's got a thing. Oh, we've unlocked the Wave Rider quest. Oh boy.
You feel the next world press
How
close
exciting.
On these late night streams?
We get to add the Wave Rider
Laura
quest
does.
to the things we're doing
She
today.
feels the presence of those she lost, the great and the good.
Luckily, it's much easier to
Gods
do
and
now, says my
ghosts.
moderator.
We are watched
And he's
and
right, but it's still a
by
pain in the
those
ass.
who dwell
What's
in
up?
the direction we cannot point to.
Laundry for you to do, and I guess we're meeting Mom at Golden Corral, leaving at about 4:30.
Okay, yeah, sure. Can you bring his laundry downstairs?
Yeah, I just shoved it in front of the washer.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure it gets done. Yeah, that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was going to give me laundry to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably put that in right before we leave for dinner, and then it'll be done, and I can swap it when we get back, and it should be all done before he goes to bed tonight, so that's perfect. So, cool. And we're going out to eat tonight. I did not expect that to happen.
And luckily, my bio data's out of town, so we don't have the risk of running into him.
Yeah, should be a fun night.
Hopefully.
Cool.
Anyway.
Do you remember the old war,
Thank you.
operator? Order seems to have misplaced those memories.
Real life. Isn't it a wonderful thing? I love playing video games. Video games are my escape from reality. Alright, so yeah, I guess we get to add the Wave Rider quest to what we're doing today. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these messages, though. Did not realize that. There's also one other extra quest we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be doing a lot of questing today, apparently. But the big thing, we're now MR3, which means this terminal is now unlocked. I'm just kind of basking in it for now. Don't ask me why. Oh, and it looks like my daily standing cap has increased, but because the daily reset has not happened, it's still only giving me the amount I had before, which is the 17,000. That's funny. Alright, so I've already explained a bit about this. Okay, pledge allegiance to a syndicate to increase your standing with that syndicate and its allies. That's a unique thing. That's why these are so different. and earn rewards. You lose standing with syndicates that oppose your pledged ideals, but can rescind your pledge and explore a new syndicate at any time. So that's kind of what I was talking about. You can get all 6 of these syndicates to rank 5. You can change your allegiance at any time you want and get them all to rank 5 and get the rewards that they offer. But you cannot have all 6 of them at rank 5 at the same time. As it said, once you rank up one, you'll lose standing in another. And that's what's very unique about them. Now, what is also very, very important about these syndicates is what they offer as rewards. Some of the best game rewards you can get your hands on, some of the most powerful mods in the game that you can get your hands on, are offered by these syndicates. And that's why it's so important. This is also where you will find the parts to build all of your arc guns. So when you get the arc wing, which we will probably do today, the arc wing comes with its own unique melee weapons and guns. And there are a smattering of different melee weapons and guns for Arcwing, and the parts to build those are found in the syndicates. So it's going to be something that you do, that you go through all of these syndicates and get them all up to rank 5. My personal recommendation for you is to pick the one you like the most. Each one has its own unique ideology. I don't know if it'll actually... You have not met the syndicate representative yet. Are you sure you want to travel to this faction's hub or relay to visit the representative? Okay, that's unique. Used to be you select this and it would just kind of give you a description that you could read through of what each syndicate kind of stands for, and there might have been some audio from each of the heads of the different guys here, but this wants me to actually go to a relay and talk to them. But something unique here. Ooh, I like that. So you can see right here for yourself. This is nice. When you pick a faction that you want to look at, it tells you on all the other factions which one it's allied with, which one is neutral, and which ones they're opposed and enemy to. So opposed, it says minus 50%, enemy minus 100%. So basically, the way this works is, say for instance, I go ahead and I make the pledge to the parent sequence here. When I do, say I gain 100 standing from parent sequence. With that 100 standing from the parent sequence, I will also gain 50 standing points with New Loka, but I will lose 50 standing points with the Arbiters of Hexus, and I will lose equally 100 points with Steel Meridian. And all of these factions are aligned that way. Now, there are a couple of unique exceptions, and this is where I say you can get 4 of these to rank 5 at the same time. If you pick first again, we'll take parent sequence as the example here. If you go with the parent sequence, you'll ally with New Loka. By ranking up parent sequence, you will also rank up New Loka. You get them both to rank 5, and then you switch your allegiance from parent sequence to the Red Veil. If you notice here, this one, it loses affinity with Cephalon Suda, and it loses affinity with Arbiters of Hexus, but Steel Meridian goes up, and parent sequence and New Loka are both neutral. So you start here, you'll get this one to rank 5, you'll get this one to rank 5, then you switch here, you'll get this one to rank 5, and you'll also get Steel Meridian to rank 5. And the opposite of that is that you pick Cephalon Suda or Arbiters of Hexus. Those two will go up, and you will lose standing in Red Veil, New Loka, and Parent Sequence. But then once these two are at rank 5, then you pick Steel Meridian, and it will also level the Red Veil. And that is the one that I think most people do, mainly because of the ideologies. And let's go ahead and visit a relay, and we'll talk to the syndicate leaders and let them tell you about their ideologies. Alright? So for that, it's really simple. It's literally any relay. So the Strata relay is here on Earth. You can go... Ooh, looks like Barrow Katir is going to be on Mercury tomorrow. That is the Void Trader. We have talked about him before. So hopefully I can stream a little bit tomorrow and we can actually talk about the Void Trader and actually go visit him and show you what he brings. He's got a lot of fun stuff. The dual elemental status mods that I've been talking about, the ones I have for my melee weapon, and I was talking about how the heat and the cold you farm specifically from the spy vaults. He also brings those, but specifically he has a couple of the dual stat electricity mods that only show up for him. One specifically, and it's the melee one. It's called Voltaic Strike. It gives you 60% electricity damage on your weapon and a bonus 60% melee status chance on your weapon. That mod specifically only comes from him. And there's another one of the electricity mods that the drop chance on the star chart where you find it is so low that it's not worth farming, and you're better off just buying it from him. But all of those mods come from him, as well as he sells the primed mods, most specifically. He's also got a few unique weapons that you can buy from him, as well as a whole bunch of cosmetics that are really fun. But most specifically, he's the one that sells all of the primed mods. And those are... You can't get any more valuable than the primed mods. They will increase your game so much. It is outrageous. Anyways, let's go to Lorunda. Actually, no. Lorunda is one of the normal run-of-the-mill... Maybe? Yeah, it was the Earth one that got rebuilt. Yeah, I want to go to the Earth one. The Earth one is a unique relay, because it's got unique aesthetics. We'll stop talking about Barrow now and go back to syndicates. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and dock with the relay. Hello, other player. Lawnmower Gang. Nice. Left Nut of Styanax. That's his clan name. Okay. Sure, why not? The Left Nut of Styanax. I'm sure mine is equally funny to somebody, because our clan name is just Army of Me. So yeah, I like this one because this one is unique. For just for a fun tidbit, it used to be that every planet in the solar system had a relay, and then there was this event called the Fomorian Invasion or something like that, where players had to go and do missions. I think they were PvP missions actually, to try and save the relays, and all but like 2 of them got destroyed, and then later on they had another event to go ahead and rebuild a relay, and it was different for whatever console you were on, but there was the ability to rebuild a relay so that you could have more of them and have better access to stuff. And the Earth relay here in the event was the one that got rebuilt, and that's why it looks different from all the rest. It's red, it's got the fire, it looks really cool. But that's why I wanted to come here, because it's unique. It looks different than the basic relays. So, we're not going to worry about anything else in the relay right now. We're just going to focus on the syndicates, because that's what we're talking about. So let's start with New Loka. We're going to talk to her and let her give you her mission statement.
New Loka believes that true humanity is the only path to cleanse ourselves of this suffering.
That was oddly brief. Like, really brief.
Give what you can, Tenno, to help us.
So basically, New Loka is of the mindset that humanity is corrupted in its current state. They are basically tree worshippers, but they're also fascists. They believe that they need to basically purge the solar system of all types of humanity that currently exist. They want to completely wipe out the Grineer and the Corpus out of existence. And they want to basically cleanse Earth of all current... what do I want to say? Any traces of the current humanity. They want to wipe it out from Earth, and then they want to basically go back to our roots on Earth and create a pure human race. Sound familiar? Yeah, they're a bunch of fascists. But it's still a good thing to rank them up because of what they offer in rewards. So every syndicate is going to have sigils that you can buy. And it used to be that these sigils were how you actually gain standing. Nowadays, they're just purely cosmetic. You don't need to worry about that. But it used to be that you had to absolutely buy these sigils, and these sigils, depending on the level of the sigil that you had, gave you standing with the syndicate based on the level of the sigil. And in fact, the clarity sigil here gave you like a bonus 35 or 40% standing for equipping it to your Warframe. It was pretty nice. These are modified by default, right? They've actually added some new ones, I think. Was it the bounty? No, that was the highest level one, yeah. But beyond that, okay, they also give you these ancient protector specter things. Now, you can buy these from this shop, or if you're an enemy, every now and then they will send assassination squads after you. Like a hit squad to try and kill you, and it will be comprised of whatever their specters are going to be, and it's for every syndicate. And then when you kill that hit squad, they will drop specter blueprints from the hit squad. So you can get these for free, but these guys are really, really valuable because they're healers. You can drop them in like defense missions on top of your defense target, and these things will not only heal you, they will heal your defense target as well. They'll keep it protected. You can also take them into like excavator missions and set them on the excavator, and it'll do the same thing. It's really, really valuable. So in addition to specters and sigils, we have, like I said before, these are Arcwing weapon parts. So if you want to build new Arcwing weapons after you get your first ones, these parts are where you'll find them. Yay, blessing! I don't know if hitting that button actually works because I'm in a menu. It always seems to be that way too. Somebody always hits that silly mote and gives me the blessing when I'm currently looking at something else and doing something else, and I can't even hit the button to say thank you. It's kind of annoying. So yeah. In the syndicates, you'll get relic packs, so if you're trying to farm a specific prime frame, or if you just want to farm ducats, you can come to the syndicate and you can use standing to buy relic packs. And I think at rank 5 you can get, what was it, 6? You can get 6 relic packs, because max standing at rank 5 is 132,000. So if you have it max ranked, you can get a total of 6 of these for... no, it might even be 7. No, 135, 140. Yeah, so it's 6. You can buy 6 of these for 120,000 standing. And that may sound like a lot, but honestly it isn't. Because literally once you pledge to a faction, that's it. That's all you have to do to start gaining standing. And it'll go fast. And you can just AFK and gain standing, and next thing you know, you're being told, oh, hey, I have a rank up. So, yeah, you literally, that's the other really nice thing about these syndicates over the other factions, is their standing gain is literally set it and forget it. It's great. And then you've got all these fun rewards you can get. If you are one who likes to deploy, like, health pots or energy pads, that's what these are. These will give you health restores. There's ones for shields. There's ones for ammo. There's ones for energy. They're a pretty good resource, and I tend to use them quite a bit, which is nice. They have their own unique mods as well for specific weapons that will give you a as it says here, +1 purity. That's like a syndicate blessing, that when you put this mod on this weapon, so this one being the Skana, it gives you this, and then like every time you gain 1,000 affinity points with that weapon, then it will set off like this little detonation that damages nearby enemies, but it also gives you a buff. And in the case of New Loka, it gives you temporary health regen. But you can also get shield regen, you can get energy regen. I think there's one even that will give you I think the parent sequence one is the weird one that gives you bonus credits for it setting off. That might have been the case. No, I think they might actually do shields now, but still, there was a weird one once upon a time. The caveat to these, though, is that they can only go on the weapon that is listed here. So this can only go on the Panthera. This one can only be used on the Skana. You cannot put this on any other melee weapon. It can only go on the Skana. Nice thing is, though, is it gives you 100% bonus melee damage as well. So this one can only go on the Volkar, which is a sniper rifle. And then over here we have... this one is for the Furus, which we do have the Furus. And this one is going to give you lifesteal, making the Furus a very potent and very valuable weapon. Also because the Furus has an Incarnon. If nobody knows what Incarnons are, don't worry, but those of you who do know what Incarnons are, this goes on a weapon that has an Incarnon transformation, making that insanely powerful. Okay, and now let's talk about the most valuable thing that these syndicates actually offer you, and that is all of these. These are called Warframe Augment mods. These mods give your Warframes unique additions to their base abilities when you cast them. I don't know if Volt is in this list, but if he is, I will find him. Actually, Zephyr, Wukong, Yoreli. Okay, nah, he's not in this one. So I'm probably going to find the syndicate personally that has the augments for, right now, Volt as well as Rhino. Volt has one that I absolutely want, and it's because of the build that I use on my main account with Volt. But these are some of the most powerful mods in the game. Some of them are duds, not gonna lie. Some of them are complete duds, and you read what they do, and then you look at the base ability and what the base ability does, and you're like, doesn't that augment actually make the ability kind of worse? And yeah, that is entirely the case. Or they'll give you augments for abilities that you just don't use because the ability is bad, and then you're left going, why would I make that ability only slightly better than it is now, which is already really bad? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, like, augments are kind of hit or miss, but overall, these augments are some of the most powerful mods in the game, and they all come from the 6 syndicates. Now, in addition to those, you also have some Captura scenes that you can collect. They have free armor sets. They have emotes that you can get if you really want those. And also, they give you, most importantly, the Exilus weapon adapters. So you don't have to buy these with Platinum. You can just farm some standing with your faction, get a blueprint, build it, and it's a lot easier. And every syndicate also has its own unique weapons. So, like the mods up above that gave you that little extra bonus. Let's go back up to one. Like these ones here with the +1 purity. The nice thing about these weapons down here, so we've got the Sancti Tigris, Castanis, and the Magister. Every syndicate will have a melee, a primary, and a secondary. These specific weapons have that purity bonus built into them. So you don't. So it just goes, and they also have their own unique effect as well. So like the Magister here, each charged attack turns the enemy's pain into healing pulse. So when you do a slam attack, it heals you and all of your allies. And then it also says also creates resistance to status effects when held. So just by having this weapon, you're going to gain status resistance, which is really good. It's like having a mod called Adaptation on. only a slightly not as good version, but you get that just by having this weapon in your loadout. The Sancti Tigris. Now, typically the melee weapons are the only ones that have that really extra bonus on them, but again, remotely detonated, trap use devotees of New Loka to protect their temples and shrines, blah blah blah. That's just some lore. But the most important thing is that these weapons have that purity bonus on them already, so you don't need a mod to give it to them, which is kind of nice. And every syndicate has those. And then, of course, again, free cosmetics, capture scenes, some emotes, some more sigils, but most importantly, the augments. All of your augments come from here, and so it's worthwhile to rank up every single syndicate, because not every syndicate offers the same augments. Some syndicates have, yeah, each syndicate has their own unique set of augments. Excuse me, sorry, dry throat. My apologies. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, each syndicate has their own unique set of augments for various warframes, so it's actually worth your time to go ahead and try to rank up every single augment. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is a parent sequence, and he is unique in as far as syndicates go, because he offers more than just what we've already shown you. Now, the parent sequence is a group of corpus that have kind of fallen away. They don't exactly like the ideological direction that the corpus are currently going, and so they've kind of gone their own way, but more or less they're still kind of the same. They still worship money. They value profit more than most. It's just that they're not willing to commit atrocities to gain that profit, is the big difference between the parent sequence and the corpus. So, let's talk to Ergoglast. And personally, I actually like the corpus. If I'm going to have to go to the side where I need to rank up New Loka, typically I will go to the parent sequence and I will join them rather than joining New Loka, because I don't really like New Loka. But, yeah, but by leveling up the parent sequence, you level up New Loka, so it works. Alright, let's look at standing and offerings.
The parent sequence reject the corpus doctrine that conflict is opportunity. We see the numbers differently. A shared prosperity can bring a shared peace.
So, in the political spectrum of things, these guys are basically, they are capitalistic socialists. They still believe that money is power and that profit is worth pursuing, but they believe that that opportunity should be given to everyone, and that you actually gain more profit by helping the little guys obtain their own profits, thereby like overall increasing the value of the economy and such, rather than doing like what Nefanyo does with the Solaris, where he puts them down and persecutes them and puts them into lifelong debt just so that he can make his own profit. Ergoglast absolutely hates Nefanyo, by the way. They do clash later on in a specific quest. So yeah, and if you go to view offerings, again, he's got the different sigils. His specter is a Moa Abyssal Beacon. Syndicates need help finishing a doomed mission to recover Orokin Arrow. Oh, right. Okay. I'm really getting tired of doing that. This thing, long story short, you have to buy this to open a special mission that you do. It's a special type of exterminate mission that gives you the resources necessary to build Dagath. That's it. That's all there is to say about the Abyssal Beacon. You buy this from him, it gives you the special exterminate mission, you go do that, that gives you the special resource that you need to buy Dagath. But before you can even get Dagath, you have to build her research lab in the dojo and research her parts, and then you can buy them with that resource. So we're not going to worry about that for a very long time. But again, relic packs, specters, sigils, augments, on special weapons. Again, I think it used to be that it gave you bonus credits, I think, but now the bonus is shields. I could be completely wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure there was one unique one once upon a time that gave you something special, and I think it was him. But yeah, Spectra. This one's on the Lanka, which is a sniper rifle. The Grinlock, also a rifle. Acrid, which is a poison dart gun, which is weird. See, and here's where you'll get the 10x energy restores. I was talking about that. He's got more Arcwing weapon parts and more augments. And here we go, Rhino. Beautiful. Now tell me you've got Volt. There's Valkyr. Valkyr is wonderful. New Loka had Valkyr. That's kind of nice too. Some syndicates do share certain augments, but they don't share all of the augments. That's important. Then we got Vauban here, Sevagoth. No Volt. That's unfortunate. I'm hoping I can find one that has both Sevagoth and Volt. And then here are his unique weapons. Secura Penta, which is a grenade launcher. But again, it explodes and then you get shields. Secura Electa is a melee whip. And then the Dual Cestra is some twin pistols. They're not terrible, but I don't really use them. Here's his armor set, and you can actually preview these. I didn't actually do that with the last one. So you can see what they look like on a Warframe. And some capture scenes. Oh, a simulacrum room. That's useful. Definitely want to get that. Okay. Now, the one other thing I want to uniquely talk about the parent sequence, because this is something that you will come to him for regardless of whether you're aligned with his faction or not. And that is this other option here, Browse Merchandise. He sells Tenet melee weapons. Now, I don't know if these are mastery locked. They probably are, but these are only available. These specific weapons can only be bought from him. And the way you get these weapons is from a resource here called Corrupted Holokeys. And the Corrupted Holokeys we will talk a little bit more about once we actually unlock Railjack, because Railjack is where you get Corrupted Holokeys. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But it's important to note that that is where you get Tenet melee weapons. And if you can get to Railjack relatively quick and start farming Corrupted Holokeys, you can get these weapons really, really early, and they are incredibly strong. Look at that. 38% crit chance base, 2.4 crit damage, 22% status. Which, by the way, when we're talking about modding weapons and stuff, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but the 4 most important stats you need to look at on a weapon is crit chance, crit damage, status, and overall damage. Overall damage is the least important of the 3. The most important is your status, crit, and crit chance, and crit damage. We'll talk about more about that when we actually have some better mods. Let's head over to the next one, which is the Red Veil. Now, the Red Veil has one tiny unique thing that it does, but it's not here on the relays. And you have to complete a quest first in order to get to it. So, in Red Veil, we have Charger Spectres. Yeah, the Red Veil, they are anarchists, basically. They want to burn the whole world down and start over. And they want to avenge their fallen friends, because they've been persecuted for a long, long time, and they don't like it, and so they want revenge. So yeah, there's the Relic Pack, Spectre Chargers. Their unique gift, I think, is energy regeneration. So, and this one especially is incredibly strong, so if you have a Dark Dagger, which you can buy the Dark Dagger blueprint from the Nightwave shop and build it, that gives you plus 100% status chance on the Dark Dagger, and then the +1 blight, and if I remember right, blight is energy regeneration. So, and then we have one for the embolist, the kunai. Hey, 200% magazine capacity on the kunai. That might actually be fun. And the mire, which is a machete. It's an infested machete that we have to research in the dojo. Gives it plus 100% toxin damage. Kind of nice. Now, what do we have for augments? We've got Ash, Atlas, Citrine is in here, Ember, Excalibur. What? Excalibur Umbra. He's got his own... What? Umbra has his own unique augment? Whoa. Do I have that and not realize it? Because I bought all of the augments. Umbra's ability strength increases by 15%, but he no longer fights independently alongside his operator. Oh, so it disables his passive for a bonus 15% power strength. I mean, that could be good, but honestly, to waste a mod slot for that is, I don't know. I don't know if that's actually worth it, only for 15%. If that was 30%, I think that would be far more valuable and worth an extra mod slot. But 15? Like, I can use a power drift mod, which we'll talk about drift mods later. But I can use power drift and get bonus 15%, and I don't need to waste a slot for that. If that's what I want. Mesa, Titania. Ooh, that's good. Titania. Zephyr's here. What about Volt? There's Varuna. There we go. Volt. Okay. That tells me that Steel Meridian will probably be the other one that has Volt mod. So, if this is where we want to start with the Red Veil, then the trick here is going to be looking at this. So they're allied with Steel Meridian, they're opposed by Cephalon Suda and Arbiters of Hexus. So if I want to keep them at max standing, the best way to do it is probably going to, again, be Parent Sequence. But if I ally with Parent Sequence, I am going to lose Steel Meridian. So that could be a problem. But I really want the Volt augments, specifically that one. Capacitance. Discharge augment. So this is for my 4th ability. Converts 3% of damage dealt into shields. Gives him so much survivability, he is practically unkillable. Combine that with a really high strength stat and some decent range, and yeah, he is virtually unkillable, and he can use his 4th ability to pretty much clear entire levels of enemies. Transistor Shield. For his 3rd ability, allies can pick up Electric Shield. 300% of damage absorbed will be added to Volt's Static Discharge. Static Discharge is his passive. As Volt is walking around, he gains the Static Discharge for an additional, at max it's a bonus 1,000 damage. I don't think this actually increases the amount of damage, it just increases how fast it accumulates. So not really worth it, honestly. Then he's got the other one that's really good. Honestly, that's his only bad augment. Capacitance is fantastic. Shocking speed. While moving under the effects of speed, enemies within 3 meters will take 300 electricity damage with guaranteed status effect. I don't consider that a bad thing. And especially if you're going to be using not just Volt, but there's a special mod later on that is it's a stretch mod. It's a variant of the stretch mod that gives you range on your abilities, but the variant mod, it's called Archon Stretch, also says that when you use Warframe abilities to deal electricity damage, it gives you energy regeneration based on the amount of damage that you do. So combining Shocking Speed with Archon Stretch is phenomenal to basically just give you infinite energy. And then the last one here for his first ability, also absolutely fantastic. Hold to cast will grant you and allies, it doesn't say that, but that is there, you and all allies within 15 meters additional 100% electricity damage to all of your attacks. And that means all of your weapon attacks, so like melee weapons. So if you're a veteran and you know the name Melee Influence, or even if you're a newer player and you've heard someone talk about Melee Influence, the nice thing about this is this ability is one that can be taken off of Volt via a process called subsuming with something called the Helminth. You can take it off of Volt, put it on literally any other Warframe, and then with this augment mod, you can apply that electricity damage to literally any melee weapon in the game, using any Warframe in the game, and then if you use that arcane, called Melee Influence, this will guarantee that Melee Influence procs off. This will also guarantee that no matter what Warframe you're using, you can also use the Archon Stretch that we were talking about earlier. It's really nice. It is. It's really, really nice. Yeah, if you have a Warframe that has some energy issues, but you really, really want that to go away, and you prioritize range as something in your Warframe's mod build, adding Shock Trooper and Shock and just the Shock ability as a helmet to that Warframe to use Archon Stretch, it's fantastic. Alright, so we will probably end up starting with Red Veil as our first syndicate. I'm not entirely sure. I apologize, we haven't actually done any missions, and this is probably going to be a short stream, so I might not be able to do as much as I wanted today, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. Also, while we're here, we're going to go talk to Darvo, because he's got a quest. Turn in insignias. I haven't really talked about that yet either. So once you align yourself with a faction and you get them, I think, up to rank 1, which is really, really fast, it will unlock special missions that you can go and do in the game that are aligned with your syndicate, and doing those missions will give you bonus standing. The fun thing, I really should have mentioned this sooner, the unique thing about these missions is if you wait to do the missions until you have maxed out your daily standing cap and then you go do those missions, they will give you bonus syndicate standing on top of your daily standing cap. Or at least that's how it used to be. Is you could actually max out your daily cap and then go run those special missions. Every syndicate will give you 3 and every one of those missions rewards you at the end of completing the mission with standing, and it will give you that standing regardless of whether or not your daily standing cap has been maxed out. So if you want to get your level up really, really fast, then you just go run regular old missions until your daily standing cap is maxed, then go do the syndicate missions in your star chart menu, and you'll get bonus standing for it. But in addition to that, in those syndicate-based missions, they will drop these insignias. Now these are regulated by your daily standing cap, so if you have maxed this out, you cannot turn these in for daily standing on top of it. But these will, as you can see, give you daily standing, and each one has a different value. So the base one is 500, then you've got 1,000, and then this one's 5,000. So that's a really fast way to gain some extra standing as well. What I like to do is, like I said, go max out my daily standing, then run the faction missions, run in, and then go, while I'm in those syndicate missions, every one of them will give you 8 of these medallions, so you can farm a total of 24 of them every day per syndicate that you have missions for, and then I just hoard these until I get to rank 5 in the syndicate, and I have that maximum standing. And then if I don't want to go farm the reputation for the day, then I can just come in here and turn these in, and boom, I have my max standing for the day, and it's really nice and easy. And every syndicate has those. Sadly, though, you can only turn in the medallions here at the relay. You cannot do that from your little terminal in the ship. All right, let's go talk to Steel Meridian.
This war's chewing up the weak and the innocent. No one stands up for them, but Steel Meridian.
Yeah, Steel Meridian is actually one of my favorite factions. They are AWOL Grineer. They are Grineer defectors who have banded together to actually fight against the Grineer and their oppression of the other human factions and whatnot. They're freedom fighters, basically. That's all they do is they go to where the fighting is, where people are being persecuted and oppressed, and they fight against the oppressors. And that is their entire mission objective. So Steel Meridian is one of my absolute favorites. And just like everything else, Abyssal Beacons, Syndicates, Spectre is the rollerballs. Don't really like them. We've got Relic Packs. They drop the health pies. That's the name for them. They call the official name is Health Restore Units. Everybody in the community calls these pies. You got health pies, energy pies, shield pies. Because when you drop them on the ground, they just look like a giant metal pie. Syndicate Sculpture. They're unique weapon augments. Here's one of the best ones. They also, like New Loka, have the health restorative. So when the +1 justice goes off, it gives you a temporary health restore. But this one specifically is probably one of the strongest early game augments you can get, because the Heck is a 4-barrel shotgun that does a vast amount of damage, and this just increases its multi-shot by 200%, giving you just that much more damage. It's insane. This thing is really, really powerful. And then they've got one status chance on the Sobek, which is another shotgun. Also, this mod, for anybody who knows what a Kuva weapon is, this mod can go on the Kuva Heck, which is basically an upgraded version of the base one. And yeah, having 200% multi-shot on the Kuva Heck is just mind-bogglingly powerful. This one's also incredibly powerful, the Miter. Now, the Miter is a saw blade launcher, but also, again, unique. The Miter has an Incarnon transformation, which makes it far more powerful, and you can put this on there and make it even worse. So each Miter blade has a 90% chance to immediately destroy nullifier bubbles. I don't think we've run into any nullifiers yet in the walkthrough, but we will, and they are a pain in the ass, and you'll be able to see that firsthand once we do. And then the dual cleavers plus 100% melee damage. Not super great, because the dual cleavers are not really a strong weapon, but Barrow Katir, the Void Trader we were talking about earlier, offers a variant of the dual cleavers called Prisma dual cleavers, and those are actually really good, and this mod can go on the Prisma dual cleavers, which are a dual sword. But it looks like you're wielding two big-ass butcher knives, so it's pretty fun. Then we got Atlas in here. Excalibur is in here. No Excalibur Umbra. Or is he? Nope. We've got Frost, Garuda, Korra, Kalervo, Mesa, Neja, Nova, Nidus. Going back down, we've got Rhino, Varuna, Zaku, Saren, Novolt. Damn it. I'm really kind of disappointed that I don't have a syndicate that has both Rhino and Volt in the same one. So I'm going to have to pick. Do I want Rhino augments first, or do I want Volt augments first? I don't know. Honestly, though, with Rhino, Rhino's augments are optional. We'll say that. They're optional. He's got some really good augments in here. This one's probably his best augment, and it's just simply because that if you're going to be using Iron Skin and you see it's getting kind of low, this will trigger an explosion that basically allows you to reset his most valuable skill, while also giving you temporary invulnerability when you do so, and then you can just do a quick double tap to reset it, and you are 100% invulnerable again. And that's why Rhino's so good. But the other one that I like with him is Reinforced Stomp, and again, it's because of his Iron Skin, and that is anytime you use his 4th ability and stomp on the ground, it replenishes what you already have. So you don't necessarily have to, well, refresh it at all or even worry about it going down. You can just stomp and heal it, and you're good to go. So, I don't know. I don't know which one I want to do first. Maybe I just want to stick with Volt. I am having fun with Volt. Anyways, and then here's the weapons. We've got the Vacor Marrowlock, Sidon, Vacor Heck. These, again, they all have that unique Syndicate bonus to them. So you cannot put those mods on these weapons, which is kind of sad, honestly, because the Vacor Heck, if we could put that 200% multi-shot on here from that mod, that would be just fantastic. Alright, and then again, you've got Exilus weapon adapters. These are in every Syndicate. They've got Simulacrum, a couple of Captura scenes, some emotes, free cosmetics. We can go ahead and look at what those look like. They're alright. But yeah, I think that's all we need to know from Steel Meridian. We've got 2 left. Let's go visit Cephalon Suda next. Suda, here's the medallions again. We've already talked about that, so I'm not going to waste a bunch of time. Suda is, she's a Cephalon, just like Ordis. But her thing is, she seeks knowledge. She desires to understand the way the universe works and ticks, and she does so through scientific study and research.
You are filled with questions. That is what makes you surprising. Cephalon Suda likes surprises.
Okay, yeah. So, and then for her offerings, Shield Ospreys for the Spectres. Those are actually really valuable too, especially with today's meta damage reduction being shield gating. Shield gating means basically that when you lose your shields, they go to 0. You get 3 seconds of invulnerability to allow your shields to replenish, rather than you just instantly starting to take health damage and die. Basically, you can no longer just be instantly one shot in the game, which is nice because of shield gating. And Shield Ospreys help you replenish your shields when you deploy them, so that when they hit 0 and that shield gate activates, they recharge faster, and they give you more shields. I think they'll actually give you over shields, which is really nice. So, very valuable to have. And again, you'll get these just by pissing off them and letting them send a hit squad after you. So, what do we got for special mods? We got the Bolto, which is it's a pistol that shoots, like tent spikes at people. It's really strong. This gives those a chance to explode. And Cephalon Suda, I know for a fact, is the other Syndicate that has its special buff, Entropy, is energy regeneration. And it has, because of that, it has one of the strongest weapons in the game. Obex is not it. Lethal ground attacks cause enemies to explode, dealing 1,000 plus 20% of enemy max health blast damage in a 10-meter radius. That's actually pretty strong, but the Obex itself, it's just, whatever. They're a fist weapon. They're a punchy, kicky kind of weapon. Although there's the Prisma Obex, and again, the Prisma Obex comes from the Void Trader, and that's a decent weapon. And then lastly, ooh, wait, where is... Oh, right, it's not an augment. So this one for the Supra, also from the Void Trader, he brings a variant of the Supra, which is a machine gun. It is an energy-based machine gun. This gives you 20% plus 20 final status chance. That means it just gives you a flat increase of 20% status chance. That is insane. And on the Supra Vandal, which has a 500 round magazine, this is insane. Putting this on the Supra Vandal, which again, Barrow Katir sells the Supra Vandal for ducats. Oh my god, a good weapon, and it shoots forever, and just having a plus 20 finals, holy crap, that is really strong. And then of course, again, for every 1,000 affinity you gain with that weapon, you'll have I think this one's a magnetic blast that it detonates kind of an explosion, proccing magnetic damage on all nearby enemies and giving you health or energy regen. Which is fantastic, especially on frames that have channeled abilities, persistent abilities, ones that you push the button and you turn it on and it stays on for as long as you have energy in your energy pool. Having this weapon is fantastic, because typically with channeled abilities like that, other sources of energy regen, things like passive energy regen through like energy siphon, or through, like I was talking earlier about the Archon stretch, those don't work with channeled abilities. This does. This just says, bam, here, have some energy. And it's wonderful. Also, energy pies. She has squad shield pies, but pies like this, like the energy pies. I believe it was Parent Sequence that offered the big bundle of energy pies. Energy pies on channeled abilities don't work. They won't refill your energy while you have a channeled ability on, but this will, making it incredibly good. Now, do you have Volt? Ureli? Zaku? No, you're gonna be like the Parent Sequence. Wisp? Volban? No, you do not have Volt. Ah, that is really sad to see. Yeah, I think I want the Volt one. Here's their free cosmetics that you can get. They don't look terrible. Actually, look pretty decent on some Warframes. I'm trying to figure out which syndicates have Volt augments, because I have Volt right now. I'm using Volt quite a bit, and I want his augments. But again, we're also building Rhino right now, and I kind of want Rhino too. Okay, and lastly, probably one of the most important syndicates in the game, Arbiters of Hexes. Now, the Arbiters of Hexes are kind of like New Age samurai, but they are all about the Tenno and the Warframes, and helping us basically become the ultimate warrior to learn combat, but also discipline and temperance. And yeah, they're like I said, they're basically an order of New Age samurai.
The Arbiters of Hexus seek truth through trial and discipline. The Tenno will surpass their former masters.
Yeah, their whole purpose for existing is to help the Tenno become the best they can be, and help mold them basically into the new leaders of the solar system, and make them better than the Orokin. So their Spectre is a corrupted Lancer, not really the greatest, but it's nice to see. We got relics and all that other fun stuff. Their augment mods for their weapons. We've got 80% burst fire rate for the Burstin Prime. The things I can do with that, because again, the Burstin has an Incarnate transformation. Oh, and the Burstin Prime Incarnate is one of the best Incarnates in the game. Ooh, that could be fun. Oh, hey, I'm using the Jaw Sword right now. 100% melee damage on the Jaw Sword. Now, there's Truth. I don't remember what their blessing is. I don't remember what Truth is. Theirs could be the unique one. Because, yeah, I don't remember what Truth does. Anyways, oh yeah, they've all got descriptions sitting over here while I've been talking. Well, I hope you guys have been reading them, because I haven't. And I'm not going back now. That's a waste of time. So an Aegis, that's a weapon that we can build in the dojo eventually. And the Viper, that one I can buy the blueprint for in the market and build it. And then plus 40 magazine, that's cool. Yeah, but I don't remember what truth is for Syndicate Blessing. Because let's see, Steel Meridian is hell. It would venture to say that it would be shields, but I don't think it's it. I don't think it is. Maybe they're the unique one. So I know Parent Sequence is shields. But yeah, the three on this side of the aisle are Steel Meridian, which is health, Cephalon Suda, which is energy. So it would make sense that Arbiters is shields, but I don't think they are. Maybe they are. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Holy crap. Weird. Okay, we've got Naros, we've got Limbo, Harrow, Kome. Ooh, that could be fun. We're going to be trying to get Kome as soon as we can. Gyre. Goss. Goss is fun. Mirage. We're definitely going to have fun with Mirage. Protea, Nyx. We'll be getting Nyx pretty quickly. I saw Stynax. Stynax is going to take us a while. There we go. There's my Volt. Okay. So, Arbiters of Hexus if I want Volt. Or... what was the other one? It was Red Veil. So, Arbiters of Hexus or Red Veil. I'd rather not start with Red Veil, honestly. But I also don't want to start with Arbiters of Hexus. It's a conundrum. Let's check out theirs for their unique weapon. Now them, I really like the chest piece, not super thrilled about, but these arms, I love these shoulder pads. They're one of my favorites, and I use them in quite a few frames because I just love the fabric tassels on them. They just look so good. In fact, I think I have those on my Baruch. And yeah. Okay, and then their unique weapons, the Telosac Bolto, Boltor, which that's actually a really good weapon, and the Boltace, which used to be a meta weapon, believe it or not, because it used to be that when you did a spin attack, it just pulled all nearby enemies into you. You created basically a vortex by doing a spin attack. It pulled all enemies into you, and then these things did like massive slash damage, which is bleed procs that ignore armor, and so enemies would just kind of melt. And so they used to be a meta weapon, but nowadays they later on decided they didn't like that everybody was just using these weapons, so they changed it so that it both pulled enemies in and pushed them away, and it kind of killed it, and pretty much everybody stopped using this weapon altogether. It's got decent stats though. Alright, so yeah, that was the Arbiters of Hexus. Now to pick our first syndicate. Let's go ahead and go back to our Orbiter. We've now visited all of them, talked to them. Now the moment of truth. So, for me right now, it's down to two choices. And if anybody is watching right now and would like to kind of vote on this, feel free. But the two I'm going with are going to be either the Arbiters of Hexus or the Parent Sequence. Honestly, my own personal opinion, I like the Arbiters of Hexus, so they're the ones I'd like to remain with for the Syndicate, later on once I've maxed everything out and I have to pick one to stay aligned with permanently. Arbiters are the ones I would rather have, either Arbiters of Hexus or Steel Meridian, because again, I really like Steel Meridian. They're one of my favorites. So the way I like doing this personally, and this is probably what I'll recommend for anybody watching this as a walkthrough, is do the same thing. Pick which one you like the most and want to stay with, and then do that faction last. So that when you're done, you've got every reward you need from all the other factions, and then you pick the one you like the most as the last faction to level up, and then you can just stay there. and you don't ever have to change. Unless, of course, they add new augments and stuff, and you have to go and buy all that. Like, I had absolutely everything from these 3 once upon a time in my main account, and then they added new, like, capture scenes and simulacrum stuff. So now I've got to go back and farm rep for them again and get all of those items. But at one point I had absolutely everything they offered, and so I just stuck with these 3 here. And again, when I do that, I start with the Arbiters of Hexus, which levels up Suda, and then I go to Steel Meridian, which levels up Red Veil, and then I have 4 max standing syndicates, leaving Parent Sequence and New Loka kind of in the dust, which is nice because, again, by leaving New Loka in the dust and leaving them at, like, they hate me, they will occasionally send assassin squads after me, which give me specters for those ancient healers, which are probably the best of all of the specters that you can do, as well as Parent Sequence, I think it was, that gives you the Shield Ospreys. I forget which one already gives you the Shield Osprey. No, that was Suda. Well, then again, yeah. By keeping her at max rank, it gives me the ability to go buy those Spectre blueprints anytime I want, and then New Loka sends them after me, and yeah, you can get them. It's really easy. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. These are my favorite syndicates to fuck with, and I believe that there is a way to micromanage the standing in such a way that you can actually get all 5 of them to rank 5. Now, they will not all ever set at max rank standing. Some of them will always be lower than others, but I do believe that it is possible to, again I said micromanage, meaning it is going to be very tedious and time consuming, and you have to pay attention to the numbers very, very, very closely. And I think it is possible to get all 6 of them to rank 5, but it is going to take so much time and effort and headache that it is just not worth the effort. Unless you literally have absolutely nothing else to do in the game, then maybe if you're looking for something to do while you're waiting for the next update to come out, then I guess you could probably try that. Otherwise, it is not worth the headache. Not even a little bit. Okay, so using my own logic, I know I really want the specific augments for Volt and for Rhino, and it's really just to up my damage gain, but I can't even get to those until I'm at least rank 4, I think, and I think most of them you have to be rank 5. So it's going to take an eternity to get them anyways, and by the time I get to the point of getting those augments, I will have quite a few Warframes. And by then I may have even already unlocked the Helminth and fed my Volt to the Helminth system so that I could have access to his unique ability that I can put on any Warframe. So with that in mind, yeah, I think I'm going to use my own logic and my advice from the walkthrough, and I'm going to start with the Parent Sequence.
The Parent Sequence reject the Corpus doctrine that conflict is opportunity. We see the numbers differently. A shared prosperity can bring a shared peace.
A collective of brilliant and powerful merchants splintered from the Corpus. Their goal is to restore order by bringing prosperity and direction to the violent world they study. Pledge to earn 15% affinity standing for the Parent Sequence. So what that means is every time you get standing in the game. So like again, we'll use 100 as the example. If you gain 100 affinity past whatever your weapons are, so the game prioritizes affinity to level up your weapons and stuff first. So it will always do that first. But if you are in a mission with a max rank loadout, then any affinity gain you get, it will take 15% of whatever gain you get, and it will give it as standing to the Parent Sequence instead. So, yeah.
The odds are in our favor now.
But again, like you saw, I just did the pledge.
The Parent Sequence Reject the corpus
So of that
doctrine
15%,
conflict
half
is
of that will
opportunity.
also go to
We see
level
the
up
numbers differently.
New Loca,
A shared prosperity
but
can
also
bring a shared
you will
peace.
lose standing with the Arbiters of Hexus and Steel Meridian at the same rates.
The odds are in our favor
I did the
now.
pledge, so I don't know why. Why do I still have this? Yeah, I'm pledged. You've rescinded your pledge. Your standing with this syndicate will no longer increase. Pledge allegiance to another syndicate to continue developing your reputation. No, I want... No, I didn't rescind.
The odds are in our favor now.
I didn't rescind. What are you talking about? Oh. No, I wanted to go look at them. That's all. Okay. So now that I've pledged them, now this menu is available. And this is the menu you see the most often. And this menu is fantastic because not only does it have these 6, but if you look up here, click on this. Hey, look, that's the Ostron. And you can come in here and you can look at this.
You go in, you work, nobody but
and then you have this little button here if you want to go up your standing or whatnot. You want a fast way to get to Cetus. There you go. This will take you right to Kanzu. And you can talk to him about your standing. And then you click over one more. And oh, look. There's the Solaris and the Vent Kids. And the Vent Kids...
Got a need?
This will literally take you right to their little vent. And you can talk to them. Same with Solaris. This will take you immediately to Utico.
She's an old bird.
And then at the very, very end, you have the Conclave, which we are not ever going to do. This one will forever stay where it is. And then you have Cephalon Samaris. And this one is probably the one I use the most.
Multitude of creatures
This will take you right to his room, where you have access to the Simulacrum, and you have access to these. Also in this menu, once this one is done, I can go ahead and select the next one. Make personal target. I can just go right ahead and move on to the next one. And we can do all of these right from this menu. We don't ever have to go back to his thing to do these specific targets. Only once these are done, and then you've got to go do the daily ones. And the daily ones are nice because you do the daily set amount of scans that he wants. And in return, you actually get Endo as a reward. So it's absolutely worth it. And with that, I think I am finally done ranting and raving about the syndicates. Holy crap, I didn't know if we'd ever get there and have time remaining in the broadcast. I don't know if you heard my moderator tell me a little bit ago when he was over my shoulder talking, but I have dinner plans for tonight, and I have to stop streaming in about 45 minutes. So I am amazed that I actually still have time to talk about other things. Now that we've done the syndicates, we've ranked up, we are Mastery Rank 3, we've talked about the Clan Dojo. All that's really left is to continue doing what we've been doing, which is opening our star chart. First thing I want to do, though, is a mission involving these. So these are parts to the unique Kome weapons. Yeah, the unique Kome weapons. When we did that little bit at the end of the last broadcast where we talked to Saya. Yeah, that's her name. She's the lady standing next to Kanzu. We did Saya's Vigil to open up the planes, and it gave us the Korra blueprint. And then we got to MR2, and we finished the Mercury Junction, and it gave us the whole Saya quest. Then all that did was open up this.
I've been thinking,
and this
Operator.
is the Saya's Vision, what's it called? The Shrine. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. The Shrine. The Saya Shrine. There are two different ways to actually do this. And I'm actually surprised at it, because before I did this myself, I did not realize that this was a thing. So if we click on this, this is no different than clicking on any of these other missions. It will just take us straight into the Saya mission. And then when it's done, it'll bring us right back here to our orbiter. That's one way to do it. And if all you want to do is just farm the mission for the specific resource that it drops, then that's really cool. And then, of course, the other way to do it is you go to Cetus, and the shrine is just off to the side, and that will not only give you access to doing this mission itself, but it'll give you access to her little item shop where you can buy the parts for Kome herself, as well as her unique weapons. So, I've been farming this myself, and I think just for the sake of time, we're going to do it this way. We're going to just click on this and go do the mission, because I've been farming it for the unique resource, and those two foundry parts that I just showed you, those also come from that mission. It has a chance to literally drop all of them, the parts for the weapons as well as the parts for Kome. It has a small % chance every time you complete this mission to just give you one of the parts. So if you want to farm this long enough and not have to actually spend the unique currency, which is also required to build them in the foundry, as well as buy the parts from the shop, if you don't want to buy the parts from the shop and you want to just hoard that resource to build them when you have them, you can just farm this mission this way over and over and over and over again until it gives you everything in the shop for free. But I'm gonna go do this because it's part of the tutorial, my walkthrough to show you every mission, and I've been doing this on my own, but I haven't done it yet in the walkthrough. So we're gonna go do this one time, and then we're gonna go finish Mercury, and then come back here and do the Mars Junction. Or if I have to go and I can't finish Mercury, then I probably will do the Mars Junction first, and then when we come back for the next broadcast, which hopefully will be tomorrow, because I want to talk about Barrow Katir, because he will be here tomorrow.
The storm! Did Comet do this? Did we do something
Oh
to
god,
upset
that
her?
is glitchy.
No,
Even on my screen, that is
this nightmare
glitchy.
is a gift. A chance to live out our
Alright.
dark fate.
So yeah, this is
So
a
we might
unique...
change it.
Yeah, I want to call it a mobile defense,
The
but
Tenno will
you're not
continue our
actually
celebration.
defending any
Tenno,
point of
present
interest
our
from being
offerings to Kome
destroyed.
to draw out the infested.
It's almost more like an interception mission without a negative effect. So you have, to start the mission, we're going to come up here. You heard what she said. The infested are invading. We have to give offerings to Kome to try and fend them off. This is the offering, and we need 5 of these to begin with. And when I pick this up, you're going to see this ring. This is an AoE ring. You see a countdown timer on the left. When that timer goes down to 0, it will give us another offering. But when the ring fills up, you can see there with enemies, it turns red, and the timer halts. I really wish he would shut the hell up. So yeah, so basically we have to kill the infested and get them out of this ring so that it is not red, and in fact it turns blue, so that the timer will finish and it will produce another offering. So the way I like to start this off, because you need 5 of them to progress to the next phase, is once I pick up this first one, I'll just stay here, and I go ahead and I kill all the enemies until the timer runs down, and then the ring will turn gold when it's done. That's how you know it's finished. So it's red, you make it blue, and you continue making it blue until it turns gold, like that, and then we can move on to the next one. Now we're gonna go over here. There are 2 of these.
The offerings are ready. Take them.
Next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and we're gonna place this in the shrine.
Kome
And every time you
is
put
with
an
us.
offering in the shrine, it has a chance to drop health orbs, which is really nice. But next, now we have our first one in, we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, we've got some nice mods coming from here as well. Ooh, Sinister Reach. Oh, yes, I've been waiting for that one.
You must suppress it,
Okay,
Sura.
so
We
that one over
cannot
there, now that
prepare
it's fully
for
finished,
this
we're going to
like
ignore
this.
it until the end. And we're going to just keep our entire focus on Node B here. And again, this is really simple. Ring turns red, we kill enemies till it turns blue, keep doing that till it turns gold. Really, really simple. Now that it's done, we'll pick up the offering, run it to the shrine, come back and do it again. And you just saw the health orbs drop. I hope you just saw the health orbs drop. I don't know. If you're watching this on Twitch and everything's still really choppy and blurry, you may not have just seen the health orbs drop. I promise, before the next stream, I'm going to do everything I can to get that to fix. I may do, like, just run like a private stream or something and see if I can get it to work. Okay, blessing number 3. Now the next one is going to be unique in how we do this. So now we're going to go back. We're going to do the same process again. Shouldn't be too hard because it looks like everybody's just concentrating on A, which, fine, go ahead, concentrate on A. A is done. We're ignoring A. It's set. The offering is there. We're going to leave it alone. Okay, so offering number 4. Now, I'm not going to take this immediately. Oh, wait, yes, I am. Yes, I am. This is offering 4. It's offering 5. So there. So here's all the health orbs. I can stop for a second, show them to you. So yeah, and you get a random buff for a small amount of time, which is fun. Right now I've got bonus heat damage on my weapons. Okay, so yeah, 4 or 5. Now is the time we're going to do something unique. Once the timer runs out. Which again, they're making it really easy because they're all kind of just collecting on A. That's fine, you can stay on A. I'm going to keep working on B. Timer's off. Okay, now we're going to do something unique because we're going to pick up 4, but we're not going to run it immediately to the shrine. Instead, we're going to stay here and wait for the next blessing to pop up. Or in other words, blessing 6. This is just to kind of streamline the thing later. This is the longest and most tedious part, but, and if you don't do it this way, then you're going to have to worry about doing this again later. So, alright, that offering is there. We're going to ignore it now, just like we were ignoring A. We'll run this one here.
Komei's offerings pile high around her feet. Now comes the darkest hour.
Yep. Now it wants us to kill 30 enemies. Which again, they're all bunched up around it. Node A for whatever reason. Just zap real quick. Kill them all.
Your Komei is made of nothing but rot.
Zahek's gonna toxin smack.
The Oni will obliterate her. Pave Cetus with her gravel.
The Oni he just talked about, it is the unique enemy that we are going to fight. It is a unique infested enemy that only shows up in this mission. And it will show itself once we get to 30 kills. There we go. So there's the Oni. Now we have to fight the Oni. And you see it's got a segmented health bar. So there we go. Segment 1 is done. The Oni is now invincible. It's going to run away. We can't touch it. And it wants us to take 2 more offerings to the shrines. Hey, what do you know? We have 2 offerings already ready to go. So, we're going to grab the offering from A, and then we're just going to ignore A entirely again. Don't care about the timer, don't care about generating new offerings. We're just going to do that. Let's clear out some of these guys just so they leave us alone. Gonna grab A, or offering B, run it to the shrine. There we go. Hey look, the Oni is back. Now we're gonna just hack and slash him a second time. Which was really fast. Did a lot of damage, and there you go, mission complete.
You impress, Sura. Komei summons
so by prepping both of the shrines
for your use in waking life,
the way that we did, we basically just cut some extra time out of the mission for the end sequence here. Now if you're doing this with a friend, and you can have one person cover each shrine, Obviously, this is going to go a lot faster because you can get those initial 5 offerings really fast. But as just one person, that I recommend, you know, again, go to Shrine A, wait for it to finish, and then just leave it alone. Go to Shrine B, just do every part of the first wave at Shrine B, get everything done, and as you saw, it makes the latter half where you have to get the 2 extra offerings. You don't even have to worry about it. You just pick them up, run them to the shrine, and you're done. It's really, really fast, and I'm really glad I got Sinister Reach. But that is the Saya's Vision mission, and that is the one that gives you the special resource, Fate Pearls. I have more than 96 now. It's that 96 plus the 17, so we've got 103, 113. Yeah, got 113 of them now, which is good, because I think the most expensive thing in the shop is 200, and then the Kome blueprint itself is 135. So I will be farming that mission more on my own to try and get those weapons as well as Kome, and then we will build them as well. But there we go. That is the end of that. How much time do I have? I have 30 minutes, so I need to prioritize. I really wanted to get the, if we go to...
Operator,
we've got
the
event.
sentients are not laughing at my
Shush.
Did they adapt
Shush,
to
Ordis.
my humor?
I really wanted to do Hell of Kubro as well as the Arcwing. Okay, priorities. I really want to get these Arcwing quests unlocked so we can literally just 100% planets. So right now, let's go ahead and do the Mars Junction, and then we'll do the Arcwing quest, and then for the next broadcast, we will do the Wave Rider and the Hell of Kubro, and we will finish Mercury. But right now, I want to prioritize getting my Arcwing. So, Mars Junction it is. But if you're doing this yourself on your own, I highly recommend go finish all the nodes on Mercury first, do the Hell of the Kubro quest, do the Wave Rider quest, and basically do every piece of content you can before you move on, so that you don't have to come back and do it later, with the exception of the open worlds, because you're going to have to come back later for those regardless. There's no getting around it. Alright, so who do we got sitting on the Mercury Junction? We have Loki Spectre. Let's go ahead and scan him. And that gave us some Samaris standing. That's the fun thing about this particular scanner. Not only does this add entries to your codex, but everything you scan with it gives you standing with Cephalon Samaris, which is really nice. Alright, let's go ahead and go murder a Loki Spectre, and we're going to get our Void Relic segment, an Incubator Fragment, the Fragor Hammer, a Hammer Stance for it, as well as 2 quests, the Arcwing and the Heart of Deimos, which most importantly, right now for me, is the Arcwing quest. Because that will unlock the Arcwing missions and give us the ability to 100% complete the entire star chart. Ow. Well, that was me. Here. Oh, and I'm out of energy. Alright. Well, we're just gonna hacky slash you, because my sword right now is incredibly strong. I wanted to play with him for a bit, but then he knocked me on my ass, and that was kind of annoying. There we go, Mars Junction unlocked. And look at all the goodies.
Operator, is that a Void Relic segment?
Ooh, Iron Phoenix for swords.
One of those in, well, forever.
He's talking
Operator,
about this.
Is that a Void Relic segment?
Do you have to say it twice?
Haven't seen one of those in, well, forever.
Do you really have to say it twice? And they gave us 25 codex scanners for some reason. I feel like that's a little too late to be gaining those. Like, by now you should have already known what the codex scanner is and what to do with it, and this would be better served if it was synthesis scanners, honestly. But anyways, let's go ahead and put the void relic segment in our thingy in our ship. Oh, my girlfriend is calling me. Hold on.
You have new quests in your codex.
I've been thinking, Operator. I thought you'd want to know.
Okay, well, it looks like my plans have changed again, because now instead of leaving at 4 o'clock, which was our set dinner time originally, it's currently 3:35 p.m. for me. Now we're leaving at 3:45, so I have 10 minutes. And I can't do anything else in this game, really, in 10 minutes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just end this. Well, no, we'll go ahead and I'll put the relic segment in. We'll talk a little bit about void relics and how to use them to gain primes, and then that will be the end of the stream, unfortunately. Sorry this didn't have a whole lot of gameplay in it today. It was mostly just me flapping my gums.
Void relics again. They say the contents of a relic are simultaneously this thing, or this thing, or this thing, but also that thing, and certainly never just one thing. That is, until it's exposed to a void fissure, and at that point, all the possibilities collapse, each one falling away until the relic cracks open and exposes one singular thing. Then, against all tenets of logic, that thing becomes the only thing the relic ever contained.
What a load of...
Ordis prefers known quantities. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and now that we've opened Mars, let's see, this is Varzia. Heard you need void relics. Your ship Cephalon said you might need help acquiring a void relic or two for that shiny new segment you just installed. Name's Varzia, former Dax, hard to find void relics, and prime Warframes are my game. Here's how it's gonna work. You bring me Aya, and I supply you with relics you need to acquire prime gear. Swing by Maru's Bazaar and I'll help you get started. So we'll talk more about that at a later date. But this is a good time to talk about primes, because primes all come in the game for free, if you want, from Void Relics. You can farm the Void Relics in a number of different places, and this is where, once you have them, you can come and look at them. You can see what prime options they will supply to you. If you want to do specific eras, because that's what they're called for whatever reason. There are 4 different gradients of basic prime relics, and they're called eras. So you've got your Lith era, which is your lowest rank one. Lith fissure missions. We've already seen a fissure mission, and I think we've already done a fissure mission too, but we didn't actually equip a relic to do it. Instead, we just went and farmed this thing, which is called Void Traces, and this is also where you see how many you have and how many you can actually maximum store. I'm glad this is 250, because you need a full 100 just to get one relic to its maximum value. And as you can see here, as you upgrade your relic with Void Traces, the percent chance that a certain item will drop changes, and that Radiant being the highest possible chance that you can get this rare item on the list. So every Void Relic will come with 3 common items, 2 uncommon items, and 1 rare. And based on its value, which you have Intact, which is the lowest, Exceptional, which gives you a bit of an increase there. This one is most commonly if you want the best possible chance for uncommons without actually spending a whole lot of Void Traces, because you can see it only takes 25 for this rank, and then the next rank is 50, and then the final rank is 100 to make them Radiant, and then the third one is called Flawless. But you can see how it changes. And at Radiant, it gives you the highest possible chance to get the uncommons, with also the highest possible chance to get the rares. But unfortunately, it is never a 100% possibility to get the rare. And no matter what you set it to, the highest probable chance to gain anything still goes to your common items. I really don't like this system the way it is, the percent chance. What I would really like to see them do, and they could even increase the cost from 100 Void Traces to much, much higher if they wanted. But I would like to see a system where you can kind of concentrate on one particular item. You can basically pump a bunch of Void Traces into one specific item to pretty much give you a near guarantee of getting that item if that's the one you need. Because I have lost count of the number of times where I have spent my Void Traces and made this Radiant and gotten the Forma Blueprint. The common item. The one that I can't even sell for ducats. Now, the Forma Blueprint is very valuable, and this is how you get your Forma Blueprints. But as you can see, I'm not worried about it right now because we can't build them. I don't have access to Orokin cells yet, and I won't for at least a little bit longer. We might be able to get Orokin cells on Deimos, the infested moon, in the open world area called the Cambion Drift. That is a possibility. Again, like I got the plastids from Earth to build Rhino, I might be able to get Orokin cells as a bounty reward from Deimos, from I forget the name of the place. It's Deimos. It's the open world. The name of the player hub is different from the open world itself, just like all the others. The open world itself is called Cambion Drift. I can't remember the name of the actual player hub, but it's just Deimos. If you're going to that moon, chances are you're going to be going to the open world, so it's just Deimos. My grandfather was just talking to me about us leaving. So yeah, this is Void Relics in a nutshell. You gain these from doing various missions. There are specific missions that you can farm if you want to get specific relics, and by specific relics I mean specific eras. So if you want just Lith relics, there is a particular mission that you can go to that is more akin to getting you Lith relics. It'll drop only these when you do it, and it's relatively fast. And the same goes for every era. And then, of course, obviously, as the eras go up, the more difficult the missions are, but also the higher the rewards. And I believe Axii relics honestly give you the highest actual possible chance with Radiant relics to get the rares. Most Axies that I've gotten rare stuff from, it's been here. And then we've got Requiems, which we won't talk about Requiems for quite a while. We'll just ignore them. But yeah, so that's relics in a nutshell. That is how you gain your prime Warframes, and I hope that was cohesive enough, coherent enough that you could actually understand what the hell I was talking about. But basically, yeah, when you do it, you have to go to Avoid Fissure mission. You pick the relic you want, you make it whatever rarity you can here to increase your odds of getting the thing you want, and then you go and run the mission, and you collect void traces to unlock the relic, and then it has a random chance of giving you one of these 6 items. And your odds of getting the item you want increase if you do this with a party. So if you want your best options, you want a 4-man team all going into a mission, running the exact same relic, and all of them radiant, and that will give you the highest odds to get the rare item that you want. So, yeah, that's relics in a nutshell, and unfortunately that is where I have to end the broadcast. So, I'm going to try my hotkey here again. Yay, stream ending. Alright, so again, I apologize we couldn't run more missions. I did not know I was under such strict time constraints, but I am, and I have to go. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Please remember to follow me on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube, and I will be back as soon as I can for the next part of the free-to-play walkthrough. Bye, everybody.